Hi, welcome to Cook with Joy. I'm Joy Kelly, and this is my 4th season of my cooking show. Isn't that amazing?
Our 4th season.
Our 4th season, okay. I stand corrected. Our 4th season. We've had so much fun bringing this show to you. And this season, we've been bringing you more healthful tips. Not just delicious tasting recipes, but also healthful tips. And today we're going to combine healthful and delicious, and you are going to love it.
You're good at that.
I am. All right. We're making a tomato and faux burrata salad today. Faux burrata, you ask? How is that even possible?
What even is faux burrata?
Do you know what burrata is?
No.
It's a cheese. It's a kind of a mozzarella cheese, and it's delicious, but it's full of dairy, and if you're trying to avoid dairy, you don't want to eat this. I love tomatoes, and I've found lots of ways to make them without cheese on them, but once I discovered Miyoko's faux mozzarella, I knew that I had a match made in heaven. We're going to start out with Miyoko's faux mozzarella cheese. Miyoko is an amazing woman from the Bay Area. She's got a whole line of cheeses. You've seen them in some of my other episodes. Absolutely, absolutely love her. In fact, she's coming here in June to stay with us. But you can get her cookbook. She's got the basics. She's got the uncheese book. Just check her stuff out. She's fantastic.
You should have her on the show.
Well, I should have her on the show. I'm not sure. She's kind of a celebrity, so I don't know.
You're a celebrity.
But maybe we could do that. The next thing we're going to use, of course, are tomatoes. Now, we're shooting this in May, and these tomatoes are from my plants last year. What? How is that even possible? Well, I grow all of my produce aeroponically, and so these vines just have lasted and lasted through the summer, and through the winter, and my husband brought these home. Aren't they lovely?
They look good.
So I just could not resist because, you're probably going to be watching this in the summertime, and you will have fresh tomatoes by then. So let's get started making a tomato and faux burrata salad. The first thing let me just say this. This is a super simple recipe. We're going to start out with the tomatoes, and we'll
even I could do this one?
Well, probably, but I heard that you tried to make my lemon balls and that you left the pits in them. Is that correct?
Maybe.
Yeah, how was that?
A little chunky.
Little chunky, yeah. You got to take the pits out before you put them in the food processor. So I'm cutting out the bad parts because we don't want to have the bad parts. And you know what? In truth, when people don't like a vegetable, normally they're having it not at its peak of ripeness, and that's probably why you don't like cauliflower, Derek. You're not letting it get ripe enough.
It's not good for you.
No, cauliflower is very good for you, but I had to cut out that cauliflower soup just because of you. We're going to cut these in chunks. Now, sometimes when I make burrata salad, I'll cut them in slices, but I'm going to cut these in chunks because I want them to marinate, and also because I'm not using real dairy. It's not going to be quite as soft. So putting them into the mixture with the balsamic vinegar and the olive oil, along with the tomatoes, is going to soften up that faux cheese, and it's going to feel more like the real thing. I think you're really going to like it. I can't wait. This is a real crowd pleaser, and in fact, you can leave it, you can make it a couple hours ahead of time, and unlike, putting it out on a plate, it'll just keep marinating, and it'll just keep getting better and better. So let's add those to the bowl, making sure that we're not getting any bad bits in there. We don't want any bad bits. Adding those, yum, yum, yum.
Those look really good.
Oh my God.
You grew those in your backyard.
We grew those in our aeroponic gardening system, yeah. They're just really delicious. So let's do several of them, because I know you're going to like this, Derek. All right, so we've got the tomatoes added. Yum, yum, yum. They look so good. Now I'm going to add the cheese.
Faux cheese.
The faux cheese, yes. But it is faux cheese, for sure, faux cheese. But the good thing about using this cheese is it's not as messy as burrata. Burrata itself is really runny, and you couldn't add it to the mix like this. You'd have to actually have it be on the side, and it would just kind of be runny. This is going to actually get in with the tomatoes. You're going to get the flavor of it, and you're going to get the flavor of the basil in the cheese. So I'm really excited about this. Did I tell you this is the first time I've made this?
Ever.
Ever.
But you know the woman that started it.
Well, that started the cheese, but I haven't made this dish before. I haven't made this dish with faux burrata. I'm assuming that we're going to love it.
So I'm going to be like your lab rat in this scenario.
Yes, pretty much. You're going to be my lab rat.
And there's no alcohol in this?
No alcohol in this one either. No, but this is pretty good. I like the ratio of tomatoes to mozzarella. And then Once we have that in, we're going to add some fresh basil. Yum, 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 yum. Normally, I would grow the basil in my garden, but unlike tomatoes, basils won't stay all winter.
It needs heat.
It needs heat. And tomatoes do better with heat too. That's why you always see basil and tomatoes together, especially in Italy. But I love the fact that we can, in our aeroponic gardens, we can grow the tomatoes all year round. So we're going to add some of this basil. I'm going to chop it up into little thin slices. Some people think you should roll the leaves of the basil first so that it doesn't get bruised. But I think we're just going to eat this right away, so I'm not getting too concerned about that. I'm not Julia Childs. If I was, I would be drinking alcohol now, Derek.
Can I get a Julia Childs impression, though?
I don't know if I'm very good at that. I think you might be better at that.
Ooh.
1 cup of butter.
That's way better than mine.
Is that?
Yep.
Okay. So I've got the basil added, and let's get that tossed a little bit so that it... What'd you do with my spoons, Derek?
They're in the dishwasher.
I'm pretty sure you took my spoons. Here we go. So let's just toss that up a little bit because the basil is going to really infiltrate all... Is that a word? I know it's a word,
Sure.
but would it be the right word?
It's military salad.
It's going to get into all of this. I think we should add a little bit more basil. But you can see how nummy that's going to get, and we're going to add more basil. We're going to add a little bit of balsamic and a little bit of... I don't think this is the right utensils to be using for this, but that's okay. I think we need a little more basil, so I'll just tear that up.
Good colors in this one, too.
I know, isn't that beautiful? Just tear that up a little bit, and then we'll add some balsamic and a little bit of olive oil and some salt, and we're just going to let it sit. And then we could serve it on a bed of lettuce, or a bed of arugula would be even better. Isn't that gorgeous?
Looks really good.
It's so nice. All right, let's add, I'm going to add before I do the olive oil, and I'm going to add a little bit of salt because the salt softens things up. Just like anything with acid, like if you're making a salad, the first thing that I do, if you don't remember some of my seasons that I've done, like an arugula salad, is you coat the lettuce with the avocado, so then you don't have to actually add oil to it because the avocado will soften the arugula or the kale or whatever you're using for the greens, and then salt will continue that, as will lemon if you were adding lemon. I'm not going to add lemon to this though because I don't think that would be good. So we have a little bit of fresh salt.
You're using sea salt, right? I'm
using sea salt, pink Himalayan salt actually, Himalayan pink sea crystals. Now we're going to choose one of these olive oils and balsamic vinegars to use. And you could get away without any olive oil and just use balsamic vinegar, but I personally really like to add a little bit of olive oil. This olive oil actually has vinegar added to it, so I'm probably going to use that because the blend is probably going to be just right, and then I'll put a balsamic glaze over it at the end to add a little more bite. This olive oil is like $80 a bottle, and I got this in Italy. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was so good. We had to have it.
That's too good for me. Don't waste that.
And this one is it's a raspberry balsamic vinegar. And I don't know if I want to add that to tomatoes. I think it'd be okay, but it's just an option if you want to play around with tomato salad this summer. Because if you're growing tomatoes, you probably end up at one point with so many tomatoes that it's ridiculous, right?
So it seems like the first one is the Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, probably. So let's use that. Let's shake it up a little bit. And then let's add just a splash, just to see how it is. Just a splash, just a touch. Yeah, great. Yum, 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 yum. This is going to be so good. Now, my choices would be to have this as a side dish, or I could plate it on some lettuce, or arugula, or even this Mizuno.
Did you get that out of your backyard also?
I did. This came off my aeroponic garden as well. Isn't that gorgeous? See the roots still attached?
Awesome.
And this is going to add even more nutrition and more flavor to it. Personally, I like arugula because it has a really peppery taste, but I don't have any arugula here today, so we're just going to do it on the plate. This could be a side dish, as I said, or it could be a main entree. It's really that good. And when you go to a fancy Italian restaurant, they actually serve it as an option that you could have it as a main course. Do you like how that looks, Derek?
A lot of colors. Looks really good.
It looks so good. And this would make a really good dish to bring to a summer party or a spring party. I think it would really hold up well, especially because we're not using the actual cow's milk cheese. So I think you're going to like it. You want to try some?
Yeah, can you put it on a bed of lettuce for me?
Sure, absolutely. This is so delicious. I can't wait to eat it. Let's put it on a plate. And I can't wait to see what we're going to make next week, Derek. Can you?
I can't wait.